meeting. Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances. And whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, now therefore be it resolved by the Manchester Township Board of Education as follows. The public shall be excluded from the discussion of hereinafter specified subject matters. The general nature of the subject matters to be discussed, legal personnel negotiations. It's anticipated these matters will be made public within 60 days. This resolution shall become effective immediately. Have a motion, please. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Might have nice hair. Yeah.
Everybody ready? I'd like to resume tonight's Board of Ed meeting. Please join us in the flag salute. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to start with thanking everybody for coming out tonight and joining us for tonight's meeting. So my report is it was nice to see the Manchester Hawks win their first 4 football games. They're off to a great start this season. Congratulations. I'm at the high school a lot picking up one of my children, and seniors, you did a great job on your parking spots. It's fun to drive through and look at them, so beautiful artwork. The Board of Ed members had a retreat last month to go over district superintendent and Board of Ed member goals. They will be on the district website where everybody can view them. Back to school nights are buzzing with lots of people and parent resources. The new setup that I saw at MTES and MTMS are great. You know, CPAG's out there representing, the PTA's out there representing, and other clubs and organizations. So the organization went really well. I heard a lot of positive feedback about that. We've also had Board of Ed member representatives at each one. I got to attend the preschool and kindergarten orientation at MTES, and that was a great success. Board members met in groups on Monday with the demographers to discuss plans moving forward for our district. At this time, the most fiscally responsible decision is to keep things status quo. But if our enrollment continues to rise, we will have to consider architectural changes to some of our buildings to accommodate all of our learners. But Whiting will stay pre-K to 5 as MTES, and Bridgeway, the middle school, will stay 6 to 8. Manchester middle school soccer team opened up with a nice win. On October 19th, the PTA is sponsoring a Meet the Candidates night for all those interested in attending to learn more about our incumbents and the other people choosing to run for our school board. October is going to be a busy month, the school board convention, conferences for teachers, so just a reminder for parents to sign up via Genesis. We will be having a policy meeting coming up in October to review certain policies and to update them. And preschool playgrounds are up for our littles. They look amazing. I saw the one at Ridgeway and I saw the one at MTES. And improvements for other playgrounds are in the works. So, thank you, and that was my report.
Thank you, Ms. Mount. I will try not to be redundant as we wanted to celebrate some of the same things. But thank you for coming out this evening. Thank you to the presenters for this evening, including Carol Beccarella for her presentation. She's going to be donating some books to the district. And then also to Mr. George, who's going to be doing a quick presentation on our HIP self-assessment. Our back to school nights, we've had 3. We have 3 more to go. The high schools is tomorrow evening. Whiting is on the 5th, and regional day is on the 12th. And congrats to our football team on a great start to the season. For retirements, Mike Colombo is on our agenda for this evening with 31 years of dedicated service. And also Karen Barry with 13 years of dedicated service. Tonight on the agenda, we do have a couple of grants. One was written by Dr. Lori Burns, our Director of Early Childhood, on the NJCAP grant that helps us meet the requirements for Aaron's Law and incorporates staff professional development at no cost, parent meetings, and then also lessons in the classroom for our preschoolers. Also, there's an MOU with Head Start. Head Start modified some of the services that they're providing to the county. They're moving away from a brick and mortar type service, and they're going to be working with us to provide those Head Start services for our preschoolers. Most importantly, it's also going to bring almost $50,000 into our budget that will be offsetting some of the costs for preschool. So it's certainly a win for our district with almost $50,000 coming our way. As Ms. Mount said, tonight on the agenda, I'm asking for the Board of Education to accept the feasibility study results. We did have a demographic study, and as Ms. Mount said, that our enrollment across the district over the next 10 years is supposed to trend upward. Also, looking at Whiting Elementary School, we did look to see if it would be conceivable for it to become an early learning center, and it's just not feasible for a number of reasons. One being that many of the classrooms within the building do not meet the square footage requirements and would require waivers. Also, most importantly, it would require that we're transporting students across the district, which was one of my major concerns from the onset. But the reason why we embarked on this journey of looking at the feasibility study is that now the Board of Education is informed about the data, informed about what is going to happen or what's forecasted for this district. And it's also captured on our board agenda should our board change that there is a feasibility study on record, and that's something that should help us navigate to ensure that we can provide the best possible education for the students of Manchester. With that, we also looked at moving the 5th grade to the middle school, and unfortunately, it would exceed the functional capacity of the building in subsequent years, so it's not a viable option. As such, I'm asking for the Board of Education to modify policy 8130, which is school configurations. Currently, MTES is listed as a K-5 building. It houses preschool, so we'll be revising that to include that it's preschool through 5th grade. Additionally, Regional Day School is listed as a K-12 school, and Mrs. McAllis has done a great job of incorporating preschool and bringing out-of-district placements at the preschool level. It also brings some longevity to her program. So that's the other revision within that policy. But as Ms. Mount said, all of our elementary schools will become, or stay, preschool through 5th grade. Our middle school will stay 6th through 8th grade, and our high school will be 9th through 12th. This is for this school year, and most certainly next school year. Beyond that, we're going to be looking at some of the things that Ms. Mount said, some of the changes that may be required to our building to meet the growing capacity of our preschoolers, and also the enrollment that is supposed to trend upward based on the demographic study. A couple of quick reminders to the Board of Education. In your folder, I made you board trainings. We have several of them, so stick that on your refrigerator, put it in your calendar. One of the events that we're going to be hosting, I'm actually asking for the vice principals to provide a presentation to you on restorative practices, so they're going to be working on that, so that way you can gain a better understanding of what it looks like at the elementary, middle, and high school. And then also, I incorporated your board goals. I made them into a nice flyer, and that's also on the board agenda tonight for you to approve. And our next Board of Education meeting is on October 18th. Thanks so much.
I'm going to start with our presentations.
We have the presentations next.
So first to present is our Girl Scout Bronze Project. Like to come to the microphone and tell everybody about your project?
Hi, I'm Carol Becquerel, and I'm a cadet in Girl Scout Troop 60338, and I'm working on finishing up my bronze project. My goal is to spread the enjoyment of reading to children in the past. In the past, I've donated some baby books to a local hospital and created a reading challenge for young girls. Here with me today, I have about 14 books in Spanish to give to the school district. I chose the Spanish books because I noticed how many kids in the school speak fluent Spanish and only a bit of English, and they should still be able to enjoy the books that they can read. I would like to thank Mr. Baronato for allowing me to be here today, my Girl Scout leaders Angel Faccarella and Barbara Zarnecki for helping me with every step of the way with my bronze project, and the community for helping me donate these books.
project, thank you. Okay, Mr. George, do you want to give your HIB assessment?
Yes, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. Tonight I'm here to report on our HIB self-assessment. And to give you an idea of the process, every year I am the district anti-bullying coordinator, and in every building we have 2 anti-bullying specialists, and we meet several times throughout the year. And one of the things that we do at the end of the year is we take a look at our buildings and perform a self-assessment. And we look at our buildings in 8 core elements. And what I've done here is just give you an idea of some of the questions that we ask as we go through the process. So we have 8 core elements, 26 indicators, and it's a 0 to 3. 0, we don't meet the requirements. 1, we partially meet them. 2, we meet them, and 3, we exceed. In addition, we report twice a year all the trainings and programs that we do in all of our buildings. So in core element number 1, approaches and other initiatives. Total score is 15. We gave ourselves a 13.8 as a district. And here we're looking at have we established and implemented programs? Are they designed to prevent and address HIB? Has the school safety team looked for patterns and reviewed the climate and policies? In number 2, we're looking for training on the board-approved policy and procedures. The total score is a 9, and we got an 8.5 or 94%. So here we're saying was training provided, did it include training on protected categories, and was it discussed with all of our students? So we're doing a good job of that. In core element number 3, other staff instruction, trainings, and programs, total score was 15. We gave ourselves a 12.8. Has each staff member received training on HIB prevention and training in suicide prevention? We're providing all of those things for our staff. Does the school safety team get professional development to support the programs? We got an 85%. This is one of the areas that we're looking to improve this year. We've got some trainings. We had some trainings today. We have some next week. So we're trying to get more opportunities for our staff to get back out into those trainings. There's a lot more stuff in person now. So that's something that we're looking to address this year. In core element number 4, curriculum and instruction on HIB and other related information. The total score is a 6, and we received a 6 out of 6 now. And now we're looking at, are we providing age-appropriate instruction? We have different curriculum that we're using at the elementary school, the middle school, and the high school, and we are observing the Week of Respect. The Week of Respect takes place in October every year. We do a whole host of events throughout that week, in addition to the year, but that week specifically is looked at by the State Department of Education, and we do a good job observing that. In core element number 5, we're talking about HIB personnel. Does each school have an anti-bullying specialist and a school safety team? Do they meet twice a year? As I said, we meet both at the district level as well as the building level, and so we got an 8.2 out of 9, or 91% there. And in core element number 6 is school level HIB reporting. So does the schools implement the procedures that are in place? Last year we also included HIBster as a way for people to go to the website and report any incidents that are concerning, so they can be reported anonymously or at any time now, just by going to the district website. In core element number 7, it's the investigative procedures. So we're giving training to everybody, or is everybody following through on these trainings? And part of that notification process is when investigations are conducted, are we following the district policy by notifying parents, completing the investigation in 10 days, preparing a report for the superintendent, following those very structured process. And there we got 12 out of 12, 100%. And then the last one is HIB reporting. And here is the procedure for staff reporting HIB in place. Are we posting the grades? Are we doing these presentations? We do this once a year. We also do 2 other EBBRS reports twice a year, and there we gave ourselves a 5.8 out of 6. So when you talk about our district score, it's a 93%. If you were meeting all the requirements that the Board of Education, the Department of Education had in place, you would have 67% of 52. So we're far exceeding that. And when we go through these meetings and we're talking about, oftentimes we have a lot of conversation about, well, are we exceeding those requirements or are we meeting them? And we only put down that 3 if we feel very comfortable that we are exceeding. We've got evidence that supports all of the scoring that we're putting in place. And those are parts of the conversations that we have. And then when you look at the buildings, this graph just kind of gives you the idea. We have the buildings across the top and the 4 elements down the side. And we're anywhere from 94 to 87% at the buildings. And in certain buildings at different times, based on the initiatives that are taking place, they're looking to do some certain things. Or it might be a situation of, do we have evidence of training for all those people, certificates and everything that we need? If we don't have enough, we're just meeting the requirement. So you'll see a little bit of shifting from that perspective. But, you know, it is a community-wide situation between the staff and the PTA and all the assemblies. We work really hard to provide really positive school environments. And this is certainly an important part of it. It starts at the beginning of the year with all of our student assemblies, and we'll be reviewing all that stuff with kids as the year goes on. But I just want to thank all the building administrators, all the teachers, all the staff, because providing a really positive school climate takes everybody's efforts. And certainly everybody is committed to that process and does a great job. And every year says, okay, here's how this year went. What are some things that we want to do definitely moving into next year? So I just want to thank everybody on behalf of all of us, all the ABSs and everybody. Any questions on it? Yeah.
How do the scores compare to last year?
I think it's slightly higher. There's a little bit of variation within some of the schools, but for all intents and purposes, it's very similar.
So we're grading ourselves.
We're rating ourselves
How do we not get hundreds?
because we're not exceeding the requirement. So it comes with.
I mean, I don't know how this works, but like, let's say on number 3, we have an 85.
Right.
Can we improve on that?
Yes, by providing more training. For example, number 3 is, does the whole school safety team have time to go out and do trainings together? Our staff is going to say, we haven't had time to do that, so we're going to give ourselves a 2 that we're not at 3. We're not exceeding it. We're meeting it. We're meeting twice a year. We're individually going to trainings and finding time for the whole team to go out and do it is an example of what you would need to do to exceed that requirement.
How are most HIPs coming your way? Are you getting more through the Hipster app now that it's more accessible to families and children from home, or are most of them coming your way?
It really has not dramatically. We are getting some investigations started by somebody going onto the website and putting in a concern, and that will lead to an immediate investigation. But oftentimes, I think in a good way, our parents and our kids feel comfortable talking to a trusted adult in the building. It might be going to the guidance counselor, it might be talking to a teacher, or it could be a teacher who's seeing something in the classroom that they're not comfortable with, and they're going to provide it. So I wouldn't say that it has shifted it all that much, but it is nice to provide an avenue for people to report in that matter.
If a parent was to fill out a HIP report, say tonight, and say a middle school parent, would it
Right.
go right to Ms. Driver, Dr. Ott, Ms. McLaughlin, or like would it so that you would have access if it was an emergent situation right away?
It would go right to the principal. The principal gets it first, and then the principal sees it, they accept it, if you will, in a sense. And then they hand that off to an ABS, somebody to investigate that situation. But once it comes in, that starts the clock on. Those parents need to be notified in the next 2 days. And then that investigation needs to be started. And then that investigation needs to be completed. And the nice thing about that program is it tracks the whole system. And it provides reminders for everybody along the way of where you are in the timeline and what needs to be done next. So it's been a nice addition.
All right, thank you, Mr. George.
Just a quick question. How are the parents informed about this HIP app?
The HIM app.
Whatever the thing is, when they go online and they just said it, I didn't know about it. Or a
Gotcha.
parent can put in with a request for investigation.
Right. I mean, I think we just, when we first did it, we made an announcement about it, put it out, but maybe it's something we need to do more.
I think as we're rolling into like, the beginning of the year,
Right.
kids are settling in, maybe it would be a good time
Right.
to tell parents what resources available.
Yeah.
Mr. George,
Yeah.
that 52, that's meeting expectations.
Correct.
Where did the number 52 come from? Is that a state?
No, that's, if meeting requirements, if you get yourself a 2 in all the categories, that would equal a 50.
It would equal 52. And what percent is that? 67%?
Yeah.
That's like a D.
78. It's a 52 out of 78.
A D.
Depends on the school district.
Do you validate?
You get my point though, right?
I do.
I mean, we're meeting expectations at a D level?
What's that?
Meeting expectations at the D level, just that doesn't seem.
Well, I think what requirements are requirements, right? So
Yeah.
I'm meeting that requirement. So the question is, am I exceeding that requirement?
So
What's
this
that?
thing is we're above.
Yeah, I mean, it goes to the philosophy of assessment, right?
We're
At the end of the day.
Now, we're at like, what, 93%?
Yeah. We're at 92%.
I think it should be at 100.
Right. But there are times, for example, to get to 100%, I have to say that everybody who walks into the building for any reason has been trained on our hidden Board of Education policy. And our anti-bullying specialists aren't convinced that somebody who comes in to work on the HVAC knows what our policy is.
That makes sense.
So you assess yourself, who verifies it?
So that's kind of the point of the trainings and programs. So we assess ourselves and put it in, and then in a separate system we go in, and twice a year we say, okay, what are all the trainings that you're offering your staff that help you meet all these standards? And then what are the programs that are in place that are allowing you to deliver that curriculum?
Does the state verify that you've done it?
Yes, they verify. So for example, if you don't submit a training in certain areas, like we talk to all of our kids on an approved Board of Education policy, well, you can't have a score of that if you haven't provided training in those ways.
Thank you, Mr. George.
We have a report from the military ambassador.
Thanks, Superintendent, for the report. I just wanted to thank the district on behalf of base for your support for the military and for all of our military connected children that are in the district. And go Hawks.
Tonight we welcome Ms. Emily Emmerich from the student government. She's our representative. Are you ready to give your report?
So good evening. My name is Emily Emmerich, and I'm a part of the executive student government. So this week is Spirit Week coming up. So 2nd through the 6th, we have students vote on the themes that they want throughout the week. So from Monday, we're doing student and teachers versus teachers with students. So you dress up as your favorite teacher or your favorite student. Tuesday, we have twin day, so you can like twin somebody with the same outfit. Wednesday, we're doing Barbie core versus Ken core. So there's going to be a lot of pink on Wednesday. And then Thursday, we're doing Jersey Day, so you can like pick whatever your favorite sports team is and put their jersey on. And then Friday is our class colors day, so the seniors will be wearing black, juniors will be wearing blue, sophomores are yellow, and then the freshmen are white. And then we have our fall pep rally that day as well, so they'll be like competing in little games and competitions to win like spirit points. And then that night is our homecoming game as well, and the following day is our homecoming dance. That's black tie theme. So far within like the student government, the juniors have their fan cloth fundraiser. It actually ends tomorrow after school, and then the kids who like paid for their merchandise will be getting that soon. The freshman elections are coming up on Friday. They have their speeches on Friday, and then the voting will commence on that day. And I believe who wins will be announced either that day or on Monday. And then the seniors locked in their date for senior prom. It's going to be May 17th at the mainland, so it doesn't really conflict with too much sports, and it's before Memorial Day weekend. And the sophomores are doing a lot of fundraisers. They're trying to get them approved so they don't have any specifically like as a date right now. But that's all for now. So thank you for listening.
Mr. Lorenzen, do you have a report for us?
I do. Just a couple things. Most of these things are on the agenda tonight. There is a resolution on the agenda tonight to approve a lease purchase agreement. We have to purchase buses that are going out of service. Additionally, we have some technology, some servers that we need to replace. One of the kind of unique things that we're dealing with now is lead times on buses. We approved the lease a year ago, and we still haven't received all the buses we've ordered because there's not enough of them to go around. So we are now having to be a little bit more proactive, and as we know that buses are hitting their life expectancy for transporting students, we got to start putting these things in place. So this lease will include replacing 5 buses, some servers, and it also includes a trainer There's a resolution on the agenda to dispose of mobile Chromebook cards. Now that our students are essentially one-to-one and taking devices home, we don't need the charging cards here. There's many of the charging cards here that we used to have. So there's about 56 of them that we are going to ask the board that we to approve the disposal of, and then once we have board approval, then we can go out and see if there's a market for them, whether that's through gut deals or recycling or something like that, because they are fairly old, and while they're mostly operational, they're in pretty bad shape. We have a parent contract on the agenda, a parent transportation contract on the agenda. This is for a student that's attending regional day school. Parent contract in this case actually helps the district out because otherwise we would have to contract this route out for probably 2 or 3 times the cost. So we'll be paying the parent directly. Between now and the next meeting, we will start working on our application for state school aid. And essentially what this is a snapshot of district enrollment as of October 15th of every year. This snapshot essentially is what our state aid is based on. It determines fluctuations in our on-roll, kids we send out of district, kids that are in regional day school, kids that are in private school, kids that are on free and reduced lunch, kids that are receiving speech services, those types of things. So that will be going on between now and next month. There's a resolution on the agenda also to approve a contract with Generation Services. This is to replace auditorium equipment that was destroyed over the summer by a student. We are in the process now, if this matter is sent to the police have discussed with the family. The family currently is going to reimburse the school district for our deductible. The insurance company is covering the rest. So this contract that is on the agenda will allow us to now put the order in because there is a long lead time on this equipment. So currently we don't have anything in our auditorium that can operate our sound system or light system. So that's on the agenda tonight as well. And the last thing is our administrative unit contract is on the agenda for approval tonight. The contract expired last June. It is a 5-year contract. There were no major changes to the contract. We are in the process of finalizing the memorandum of agreement. There is some grievance language we're currently working out. We're just trying to clarify some stuff and include the steps in the grievance language. I don't anticipate that taking very long, and it's not going to materially change anything that's in the contract. So that is on the agenda tonight for approval. I think that's it. Thank you.
At this time, we would like to invite anybody from the audience to speak on agenda items only. Please state your name.
Paul Vargas.
Okay.
My name is Paul Vargas. I was a custodian at the Manchester Elementary School. I got terminated yesterday. I was given to by my manager, Chris Brown. Listen, I'm a hard worker, and if I'm just given the chance, even like in a day, I can get letters from all the teachers that I walk into every one of their classrooms. They will write something good about me. Because again, I really, really try hard. I try to do my best. Custodian work is not easy. Like, we have kids in there running back and forth. I mean, crayons, bathrooms, windows, floors, you name it, we clean it up, honestly. It sounds like really commercial, but I just really feel that I'm not given the chance, and I feel really unrightfully let go. And also the unprofessional behavior from my supervisor toward myself. I really hope that the board will strongly consider overturning my recommended termination, and I really hope to hear from you soon, today or very soon. Thank you. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody else want to speak? Are there any other board member reports?
Yeah, I wanted to call attention to the high school and their personal finance team. They've received an award recently. See, the organization that gave the award, Next Gen Personal Finance, they advocate for comprehensive personal finance courses in schools throughout the country. And they recognize Manchester Township High School as one of 145 gold standard schools in New Jersey. So Mr. Adams, kudos to the personal finance team at the high school. That is well done. Probably one of the most valuable classes our children take. Thank you.
Good job, Mr. Adams. Congratulations, job well done by everybody involved. Is there any old business?
We have no old business, no correspondence.
Okay, so now to the agenda, section 1, letters A through E. Can I get a motion?
Second.
Any discussion?
I have a question for number 4 on A. Are we posting this for transparency to the website? So the district knows what the district goals are and the superintendent knows?
Yes, I was just waiting for the board to affirm the goals before I posted them on the website.
Okay, I know we said that we were doing the board ones, I just didn't know if we said that we were doing yours and the district, correct?
Yeah, my goals are actually identical to the strategic plan, so it'll all be in that same section.
I have a comment on letter B, number 1, approve East Coast Protection Services LLC to provide residency investigations for the 2023-2024 school year. There has been talk about maybe getting a truancy officer to prove residency, but we're starting baby steps and to see where the need goes. So this is why we're hiring this company to prove residency if it's in question. Anybody else? Can I get a roll call, please?
Yes. Mr. Servant?
Yes.
Mrs. Wingler?
Yes.
Mrs. Georgiano?
Yes.
Ms. Weinstein?
Yes.
Mr. Potts?
Yes.
Mr. Keller?
Yes.
And Mrs. Smith?
Yes. Okay. Section 2, letter A, numbers 1 through 7. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just a quick comment, so I'm just gonna be annoying about number 6. I'm just probably gonna abstain because I don't like to approve things I didn't read. I don't know if anyone else feels that way.
Just do a roll call right now, if you can say.
Okay. Can we get a roll call, please?
Sure. This is on items 1 through 7. Mr. Servant?
Yes.
Mrs. Wingler?
Yes to all, abstain from 6.
Ms. Georgiano?
Same,
What's that?
same, I'm gonna abstain
What
from
she
6
said.
as well. And then the other 8, yes.
Ms. Weinstein?
Yes.
Mr. Potts?
Yes.
Mr. Keller?
Yes.
And Mrs. Smith?
Yes, abstain to number 6.
Oh, no.
B, personnel, there's a lot of them in there, numbers 1 through 69. Can I get a motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion?
For the transfers, I just have a question from 9 and 10. We're moving somebody from the middle school to the elementary school and then putting somebody else in their place in the elementary school.
So paraprofessional position is a very vague position. It could be depending on the classroom. So we're moving paraprofessionals based on some of them are trained in CPI, which is like a crisis intervention type thing, like de-escalate and last resort restrain. So some of these transfers have to do with students being declassified, some other students being reclassified, and then moving them based on their abilities and skill set.
Any other discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Servant?
Yes.
Mrs. Wingler?
Yes to all except no to number 8, no to number 12.
Ms. Georgiano?
Yes, and, except no to number 8.
Ms. Weinstein?
Yes.
Mr. Potts?
Yes.
Mr. Keller?
Yes.
Mrs. Mount?
Yes. number 1. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Any discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mrs. Servnek?
Yes.
Mrs. Wengler?
Yes.
Mrs. Georgiano?
Yes.
Ms. Weinstein?
Yes.
Mr. Potts? Mr. Kelleher?
Yes.
Mrs.
Yes. Letter D, special services, number 1. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mrs. Servnek?
Yes.
Mrs. Wengler?
Yes.
Mrs. Georgiano?
Yes.
Ms. Weinstein?
Yes.
Mr. Potts?
Yes.
Mr. Kelleher?
Yes.
Mrs. May?
Yes. Section 3, finance, letter A, numbers 1 through 5. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mrs. Servnek?
Yes.
Mrs. Wengler?
Yes.
Mrs. Georgiano?
Yes.
Ms. Weinstein?
Yes.
Mr. Potts? Mr. Kelleher?
Yes.
Mrs. May?
Yes. At this time, we would like to invite the public, if they have any comments, to the podium. Just remember to state your name, please.
Hi, I'm Heather from, I live in Hollyoaks. I just wanted to make mention, Mr. Peters is retiring from, not retired, from Regional Day School in November, and he is the wood shop teacher for the students there, and I just wanted to point out to the board, I know it's a very difficult position to fill because of its requirements, but please do all you can to find a replacement, which is almost impossible. For Mr. Peters. The skills that he instills and teaches our kids there, safety, I mean, just to remember to put your glasses on, keep your fingers out of the way. I mean, they do real wood projects with really scary machines that I won't touch. And it is a resource and such a special, unique aspect to our district to include the workshop at Regional Day, so please do your best. Wiggle around to find ways to find those candidates. I know it's a very difficult position. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to make a comment? There's no need for us to go to an executive session number 2, so I'd like to make a motion to adjourn our meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming out, everybody. Hope to see you at our next meeting.